There were 35 engineers on the Titanic. Not one of them made it out. They had the skills to potentially save themselves, but they made a silent pact. As long as the pumps ran, the ship stayed afloat longer. As long as the dynamos turned, the wireless telegraph worked. They chose to drown in the dark so that 705 people could be found in the light. We've been told the story of the Titanic 1,000 times. The diamonds, the champagne, the unsinkable dream. But the Titanic wasn't just a palace for the elite, it was a city of secrets. While billionaires slept in silk sheets on the upper decks, hundreds of men and women lived in a windowless world of soot and steel, just feet away from the freezing Atlantic. They were the heartbeat of the ship, yet they were forbidden from ever being seen. This is the dark reality of the Titanic's invisible workforce. On the Titanic, your ticket didn't just buy a room, it bought your right to breathe. Below the opulent ballrooms lay a labyrinth known as the Scotland Road. This long, cramped corridor on Deck E was the artery for the crew. Here, the smell of fresh linen was replaced by the stench of coal dust and grease. In rooms no larger than a modern walk-in closet, 10 to 15 crew members shared bunks. There was no privacy. No silence. Only the constant, deafening roar of the massive engines vibrating through the floorboards 24/7, deepest in the hull worked the Black Gang. These were the firemen and trimmers who kept the Titanic alive. In temperatures exceeding 110 degrees Fahrenheit, they shoveled 600 tons of coal a day into 29 massive boilers. It was a hellish cycle of backbreaking labor. They were caked in so much soot that their skin turned permanently gray, giving them their haunting nickname. They were the lowest in the ship's hierarchy, but without them, the unsinkable Titanic wouldn't have moved an inch. April 14, 1912. When the iceberg struck, the men in the lower decks were the first to face the water. While passengers on the upper decks were told there was no danger, the engineers below were already waist-deep in the freezing Atlantic. Here is the part history rarely mentions: every single one of the Titanic's 35 engineers stayed at their posts. They knew they wouldn't make it, but they kept the pumps running and the lights burning so the wireless operators could send the SOS signals that saved 700 lives. They died in the dark, so others could live in the light. The Titanic is more than a shipwreck, it's a monument to the human cost of progress. Those who polished the silver, cooked the meals, and shoveled the coal had the hardest path to the lifeboats, and the lowest survival rates. Today, we look past the gold leaf and the grand staircases to remember the souls history tried to forget. If you believe these forgotten heroes deserve to be remembered, share this video. Let's bring their stories back to the surface. Comment "Never Forgotten" below to honor the crew. And for more deep dives into the mysteries of history, subscribe and hit the bell. Until next time.